Welcome to Weeds and Wilds Conversations. Today we're joined by special guest Heireyona Caprice. Heireyona is here to share with us her journey into becoming a novelist, thriving entrepreneur, and an astounding health transformation. How you feeling today?
All right, you.
I'm doing good. I'm all right. I'm shared space and things like that. And you have an amazing personality. I admire your business acumen and basically just kind of watching you expand your business. You have a novel out, so you're an author. You're also super young. And I just know you have some things to share about the journey and the process to get you to where you are right now, career wise, and with your personal development and everything like that. So, first of all, where are you from? Because you're not from Richmond, are you?
No, I'm from Oakland, but I stay in Solano County in Fairfield.
Okay, so I'm just skipping around a little bit. You have a very steamy novel out, okay? Very steamy, like no warning, just like straight to it. I was like, oh, okay. And then, but it takes place. A lot of it takes place in Oakland.
Yeah.
Was this novel at like? What are you like? Where did that like? How did this book come about?
So when I was growing up and I would get in trouble, my mom would take the TV, she would take the radio, she would
Mm-hmm.
just take anything that would entertain me, but she wouldn't take a book. So I used to spend a lot of time reading urban novels. I was able to
Oh,
read like a book in a day, seriously.
wow.
So as the years went on, I was always inspired and I wanted to write. So I just finally did it. I wrote my own book, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of made up stuff, but it's a lot of different of my friends and my own experiences. I just combined it into a book
Yeah.
and made it
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, because it's too real. Because like when you're reading it, it's like you go through you're blushing because you just like relate to some of this stuff. Then all of it, like I have the audiobook version. Then all of a sudden you got to turn it down because you like it just out the blue started going all the way down, and I was like, oh my god. And so I was like, this is not just like out of thin air. This some of this was lived at some point from somebody. So
Yes.
okay, and you started this. So do you have more, or is that just like is that your only body of work right now?
That's the only one released. I actually have three other written. I've been sitting on them. I have to stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, what is that process like for you? Do you write it and edit it and everything, or you just put it out there and you have an editor that goes over everything? How does that work?
Funny thing, I actually went to a women empowerment conference by an
Mhm.
author that I just admire. Her name is Alita Williams,
Okay.
and she's from LA. So I went to a conference with her and another author, April Cox, and I was going there to learn how to write a book.
Hmm.
And that is how my mobile bartending business got birthed because they had a mobile bartender there. So,
Okay.
in the midst of that, back to the book, I went there. I got there, Alita's help. She was my writing coach. So, I went through the whole process with her. She guided me how to self publish. She connected me with an editor, with a graphic person to do the book cover. So, I had help along the way.
Okay, okay. Well, it's great, and I look forward to to the others. I've been, as I've been revisiting things, I've been just got through telling somebody about it, like, girl, check this book out, but be careful because it's a lot. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah. So your Sassy's pop up pull say it for
Pull up
me.
and pop. Sassy's pull up and pop.
Okay, Sassy's Pull Up and Pop. So that business is doing great, and it's an amazing business. And I'm glad you touched on that. That you saw that you were inspired from the event, the publishing event you went to, and you
Yes.
just went and just jumped out there and did it. Like, how did that process go?
So I was at their event and it was all about the books. So afterwards, because I came from the Bay Area to LA, Alita was like, "Oh, I want to take you to dinner." So I went out to dinner with her, and we were just talking, we were drinking, and then I was like, I never saw like a mobile bartender like that in the Bay Area. I
Hmm.
think I can do that at home,
Yeah.
and it was in like November, I believe. So
Hmm.
on my Christmas list that year, I told everybody I wanted bartending stuff. And I had a cousin a couple of months later, she was having an event. She said, I'm gonna hire you. And from there, it just took off.
Wow. Wow. And it's a gift in the way of like the way people believe in you and support you and things like that. That's a gift. And you have the personality for it. So that's like the biggest, I feel like that's one of the biggest struggles in business is having the having what you need to deal with a lot of different people. It's not natural, and sometimes somebody can be absolutely great. I can even say for myself, I don't match with a lot of clients because my personality just don't work for them. And I get that. So to just be naturally, you're pleasant like all the time, and I admire that.
Thank
I'm
you.
not that way. I'm just not that way, and a lot of people are not. So I think that's such a gift. I'm always like watching people that are that way. Like I like that. So yeah. So you do a lot of different events though, because there's other pop up people, and I'm not trying to like compare, but I see a lot of people here, there, but I see you at a lot of very like high quality type of events. Like you're at bar mitzvahs, you do some really like high top tier type of events. What is the marketing process for you to secure those type of events?
So honestly, it's all been word of mouth.
Okay.
So when I first started, it this was such a blessing. I never left a job without having a job booked,
Mm,
meaning somebody there was like, "I'm having something and I need you."
okay.
So I started in the midst of that. A lot of the people that was hiring me, they would have event planners, and these event planners, some of them are beyond top tier. They liked my personality. They liked the drinks. They said I provided customer service. So then they started referring me to their clients,
Okay.
and it just was all a blessing. It was word of mouth.
Okay. 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 That seems to be most people's story, word of mouth. Your clients are your customers are your biggest advertising tools.
And
Um,
also social media. I will say Instagram helped.
okay.
Um, Lately, I'm not into social media anymore, but when I was, I did get a lot of inquiries off of Instagram. They didn't always turn into business, but it always turned into people sending people my way, which then turned into business.
Okay. Okay. So what okay, so right now is this full time for you, or is this still like a side business for you?
It's the side.
Okay. So after high school, let's go to high school for you. What did you leave high school and go to college, or have you been working? Like what is your like career path like?
No, so I left high school. After high school, I actually did go to bartending school.
Oh, okay.
And so I am a licensed bartender. So I went to bartending school and well, no, that wasn't right after high school because I'd be 21. So after high school, I just worked. I worked in retail and then I started caregiving. Then I kind of got over caregiving. So that's when I went to bartending school. And after bartending school, they let us do this internship in downtown Oakland and they
Mhm.
let us drink on the job. I was like, oh, bartending is not for me.
Okay. Okay.
Because I
Okay.
got a little too turned up, and so now years later to be doing it is so funny to me. But anywho, I did that. Then I just started staying inside, working with adults with mental disabilities. I worked for a lot of agencies and supervisory positions, and then I switched to medical records at home health agencies, and now I work for Kaiser in medical records.
Okay. What outside of, because okay, we obviously you have your thing going, you work in, you have your side business. And a lot of times there's all of the excuses that come up along the way when people are trying to get out there and start something up. What would you say are like some most common, or not, or even maybe specifically to you, obstacles that you've had to face and endure with trying to get out there and start your business and overlook all of the noise along the way?
Um, I faced a lot of obstacles and still live, I'll be open. So in the beginning when I started, I was heavier than what I am now. So
Okay.
all of that standing on the feet was just painful. So what I did to make it work for me was any job I do, I have somebody with me. Even
Okay.
if it's a small job, because physically I know I needed a break, I need help,
Yeah.
I can't carry all this stuff. Um So I said I wasn't going to let that obstacle stop me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Another obstacle for a long time when I started, I didn't even have a car big enough to transport all my supplies. And, thank God I had my mom. She had a SUV and she would let me borrow it. And I just made it work. So, um, that was that. And then now currently I'm battling rheumatoid arthritis, which causes my joints and things to flare up, which is a huge obstacle. But despite it all, I still show up. I still
Yeah.
give it my all. It's just like, if I've always believed, if you really want something, you're gonna go for it. You're not gonna let nothing hinder you.
Mhm.
And I just live by that. So it's like, whatever I want, I'm just gonna make it happen. I don't care if I'm in pain. You're not gonna know I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I have to do because it's something that I enjoy doing. The money's good. Um, and then when I look back at the end of every year, I'll be like, dang, I made that much money on my own. I did
Yeah.
that. And I'll be like, if I ever got laid off or something bad happened, I know how to get out here and get it myself. And that feeling tops anything.
Yeah, yeah. That's wonderful. And I'm glad you shared that, because that is something that stops a lot of people from moving forward, their appearance. And sometimes the you may have something, and we could just call that, I don't know if it would be technically a disability, but it does disable you from doing certain things, having extra weight. And and I'm no clearly, like, I'm a plus size woman my own self, and I know the types of things that come along with being bigger, and sometimes you need accommodations. Maybe a certain chair doesn't work, and it's a lot that comes along with it. And after a certain while, it just I know a lot of people who literally don't do any leaving the house unless they absolutely have to, because of fear surrounding their appearance, or fear surrounding inconveniencing people. You don't want people to see you, or you don't want people to have to wait on you. And for me, growing, I've never been like a skinny person. I had a period where I was like getting fit, but ultimately I've never been a skinny person. And my upbringing was all about hiding the extra weight. It was never I was never encouraged to, I don't want to say I was never encouraged, but it was more about sit down because you're this, or put that on, they going to see that, you better be careful, you better watch. And with you, you're always confident, and that is something that anybody can look at you from any standpoint and see the confidence level that you have. And it's not like, we have these plus size communities where it's just like, it's overbearing, so to speak. And it's but that's not what I can, and I'm trying to word this properly.
No,
um,
I get where you're
you
going
get
and
what
what
I'm
you're
saying?
saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's not, it's just natural. You're just naturally in your shoes, and not like, oh, look at me type of thing. You're just there. And I admire that so much, because I know for sure that's not even a place that I can ever even see myself, because it's so many layers to that. And what I'm getting to is that something, was that a conversation for you? Because society doesn't naturally embrace a plus size girl. They just naturally don't. Is that something that was a conversation, or were you just raised just like everyone else and it just wasn't a thing for you?
So my mom is plus size and she's very confident and she always allowed me to just be me. If I wanted to wear it, I could wear it. She'll say if they don't look right and I still be like, I don't care, I wear it. Like, I have a friend that's so funny. She be like, girl, you think you's the cutest looking thing in this world. You think you look the best. And I'm like, I do. Like,
Right.
like we all, and I tell them all the time, like, we all have to have that mentality. Like, you should feel like you look better than me. I should feel like I look better than you. I mean, we're all beautiful, but like, you have to believe it yourself. And don't get me wrong, it's not always as easy as I've just have made that seem, because even with bartending, some things that I noticed, like being on a heavier side. And I've had surgery now, so I'm not anywhere near where I was when I first
Okay.
started, right?
Okay.
But when I first started, um, there was a time, like, tips. People go off of appearances, and
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
society in general, right? So I had did a job with one of my friends, and my friend, she has a beautiful body, nice, everything just so on point, very pretty girl. I think I'm just as pretty as her, but she has the body. So I was making a guy's drink, and he kept telling me like, "Oh, your service is so good. Your service is so good." And he was like, "I wish I could tip, but I don't have no cash." And I was like, "Okay." Now I'm just
Yeah,
still
yeah.
all being friendly and happy. So then my friend comes. Keep in mind, I'm the one making all his drinks.
Uh-huh.
So he sees her, and there was two tip jars on the bar. One was on her end, one was on my end. And he puts $100 tip in her jar.
What?
I made all his drinks,
In your face.
in my face. And he literally apologized to me 10 minutes before for not having any money to tip. And I was like, it just goes like that's just the way society is. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that stop me. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
still show up. I'm going to still, think that I'm just the cutest
Yeah.
thing in the world. I'm thinking that my personality is gonna sell it, and if it don't, oh well. So
Uh-huh.
I've never had a problem attracting things that I don't, that I wanted, or attracting people that I wanted.
Yeah.
So it just brings forth a lot of confidence. I listen to a lot of positive. I follow a lot of people who are very confident in themselves too,
Mhm.
and that goes a long way as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And I know I've experienced that. And things like that, I don't think it's incidental. I believe that the guy did that on purpose. I just believe it because people, just for whatever reason, they feel like they need to participate in everybody's business, and so it's not his business where you were, but I felt like they do things to make it a point to let you know that there's a problem with some part of you, and that right there was a big message, that they attempt to. And you just never know like a person's story, so I just think people should be really mindful, but they're just not. And so fortunately for you, you had seem to have had the right tools to keep you elevated and confident in spite of like where you were, with that. And that's not the case with everyone. And I want, and hopefully more people will start to just embrace young girls and young boys, even where they are with their weight, because it's already difficult, because no one wants to walk around unhealthy and struggling. So if somebody is carrying that around, there's a reason for it. And I think it would, more parents should be like the parents that you have, and just let kids be who they are, and embrace them, because obviously like it serves better, because you get to be a happier person and not walk around with low self-esteem and low confidence and things like that. What was the process like for you? When did you decide that you were ready to shed some of the weight that you were carrying?
So I've been ready for years, but I did a
Mhm.
lot of yo-yo diets, not taking things seriously. But then when I turned 30, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is not regular arthritis. If for those that's not familiar, it's a autoimmune joint disease where
Okay.
it affects your joints.
Mhm.
I don't know why they call it arthritis, but that is what they call it. But it's so my hands often get swollen, my feet get swollen. There's times I literally can't even brush my hair in a ponytail. My hands become worthless. Um, so as that happened, once that happened, and I started to experience a lot of flare ups, a lot of inflammation in my body, the weight was not making it any better. So at that point, I knew I had to get serious. And it was to the point where I was uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
I would do things, but it was just, I was uncomfortable. It hurted to get dressed, it hurted to go to work, it hurted to move. Everything hurt. And I just knew then I didn't want to live like that anymore. I couldn't keep living like that because I was physically unable to just live.
Yeah.
So it was at that moment that I was like, I just have to take this serious. So I have been on the bariatric journey for like 5 years, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
they told me I had to lose 10 pounds when I first started, within the first 5 years that I started, right? And then during that time, I gained 50.
Oh my
So,
goodness. When you
like,
supposed to be losing
over
10.
5 years, yeah, instead of losing
Okay.
it, I gained 50. That's how serious I was not taking it.
Yeah.
So, at that point, I like went to the doctor. I said, "Look," and I kept thinking, I was like, "It's the doctor's fault. It's not my fault." So I started off with Kaiser Richmond. I was like, "Oh, they're giving me a hard time." I went to Kaiser San Leandro. Oh, they're giving me a hard time. I kept switching Kaisers like it was the doctor's fault, and it was like, "No, girl, you got to do the work." So
Uh-huh.
I finally just took it serious, and then they told me lose 20 pounds. It took a long time, well, like 6 months, which was a long time, but I finally did it. And then that's how I just jump started, went ahead and finally did it. And plus, I'm only 5'1", and my highest weight was 388.
Okay.
I'm so little in
Yeah.
height to be to weigh that much,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
was a done deal.
I think 6 months, you said 20 pounds in 6 months.
Hmm.
I think based on what they say is like normal, I think that's a lot. It seems like because they say you're not supposed to lose a certain amount. So I think that's pretty good. What did you do? I think, right?
Well, I feel like, cause like when you're bigger, you lose a lot of weight more quicker. Like in the beginning, a lot of it
Okay.
may be water weight. That's why I didn't feel like it was a lot. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, so first thing I did was I cut out sodas.
Okay.
I cut out sodas, and then I just was mindful of what I ate. I still ate what I wanted to eat, but
Mhm.
instead of like going to McDonald's and getting the burger, the fries, and the nuggets, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna either get the nuggets or the burger. You're not gonna get both. So
Okay.
I just started being mindful, eliminating things slowly, and it just, would come off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Did you use like any of those like trackers, those like calorie trackers or anything, or you just did the mindful approach?
I did. I attempted to
Uh-huh.
use that, but I'm just not good at like logging and tracking stuff.
Yeah.
Organization is not my strong point, so
Okay.
it
Okay.
didn't go too well.
Okay. Okay. And then what about like fitness? Did you at any point, because I know you, if you have the arthritis, I get it. And that, like, I had arthritis in my knees. I don't think it was the one you said because they didn't say it was a disease, but I don't have it anymore. And what happened was when that happened, I was like, oh heck no. And I just immediately started like you did making changes. And so the next time I went and got like my x-rays and everything like that, like there's no more arthritis there. And I know when that was there, it was extremely difficult to do, as you know, a lot of things. Walking was a problem, working out was just like not happening. And it's like you can have a day where you don't know it exists and you get comfortable, and I could just go out and have, be out dancing somewhere, and then the next day I can't move for 2 days. So it's like working out was kind of hard. So like how do you like is there any point when you're able to do physical activity, or is right now are you still just totally reliant on diet to get you to where you want to be?
So when I first had surgery, I was very heavily into doing water aerobics every
Okay.
morning. I was waking up, going to a class at a local gym, and I was doing that very well. And that I feel like water aerobics is amazing. Anybody can do that. Any size, any shape, whether you can swim or not. It's very low. It just was amazing. Then I stopped, and I haven't gotten back into doing anything. But right now, I'm dealing with due to the RA, what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with problems with my mobility as far as walking. So,
Okay.
like, I don't know if you saw at the party, like the way I walk. I walk like I'm 80 now. Like,
No,
so
I didn't
because
see you.
okay, yeah. So right now, I'm like my walking is so off. So I'm actually going to
Okay.
be starting physical therapy, and I'm hoping with that I could possibly figure out some kind of workout routine that works for me. So as of
Okay.
right now, I'm not working out, but when I was, it was water aerobics.
Okay. 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 Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. I know that's a lot. So I'm looking at this picture behind you. Is that, yeah, those are pretty. And
Thank you.
and that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like just confident and like clearly I don't have to tell you very pretty, but it's just like I love that because I have, for years just wanted to take like nice, like sensual pictures and things like that, but it's just so much that that is just in your head about it. So I don't you.
And you need to make that on your to-do list this year. Book the shoot. I'm telling you, nobody got to see the photos. If you don't like them, nobody has to see them but you and the photographer.
You know what? I've been telling myself in my mind for the past month or so that maybe for like my birthday this year, and I'll have a little time. I'll do it. But I
Yeah,
did say I just want to go ahead and do it, and I think I think I will. I think I will because I like
good.
that. That's definitely my style. But it's just like it's personal. But I definitely, especially with my daughters, both of them are going to be grown, so I don't have to be as
Yeah.
modest about. But you know what I'm saying? I can live a little bit and put it out there.
Yes,
Yeah, for
do
sure.
it.
Okay. So what's next for you? I mean, you got a lot going on already, but what do you see for the business? Especially, there's two components. There's one, the business is there, and I'm sure you have a demand. And I know you mentioned to me at a point you weren't really taking a lot of bookings. Are you planning to keep it that way, or do you see the business expanding to where you can hire a team? Because I see people that have these businesses and they have a team. Why don't you have a team to where you can just like not even show up?
So I I have a small team, right? But
Okay.
the problem is I'm so hands on. I don't feel like others provide the same service that I do.
Okay.
And I'm just, and it may be me in my head, and I have to get out of it. But I'm like, I don't want to send someone, and then, now someone's dogging my business because they didn't do a good job. And it's like
Yeah.
with an event, you only get one. I can't, there's,
Hmm.
if my staff mess up your event, I can't do anything about it. The event's
Yeah.
over by the time I'm able to fix the issue. So I really like it to where, I'm always the one doing my jobs. I've had about 3 or 4 bookings where I have sent others, and they did go really well. They
Okay.
went well.
Okay.
But I always made sure it was with a repeat customer. So someone like,
Hmm.
you know what I offer. I feel like me and you have built a strong enough foundation. If something goes wrong, you can get me on the line. I, can handle it,
Yeah.
whatever. So I fear, I guess it's just the
Here.
fear of trusting others to be on time the way I would
Mhm.
want to be on time, to know how to work in such a fast paced environment to deal with, because dealing with drunk people is not always easy,
Yeah.
and sometimes guests can be a little rude, or
Mhm.
sometimes they could have just had a little too much and don't really realize what they're saying.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
just want to make sure that, I have the right people in place to deal with those type of situations. So as of now, I'm still doing bookings, but they are limited. It's Everything is word of mouth. I just work off word of mouth now,
Okay.
which is cool because I've been consistently doing 2 jobs a month, which is
Okay.
fine. Sometimes more, sometimes less. This is really just what I do on the weekend. Um, but what's next is I feel like I want to go in the venture of having an event space, but
Okay.
not just like a regular event space. Like I'm trying to map it out in my mind. It's gonna like where mixology classes are offered and other
Nice.
little fun activities. Um, I haven't put it down on paper. It's all in my head right
Well,
now.
you
But
spoke it
that's
out. That's just as good.
that's where the vision of it is going, because I feel like something like that, then I can have other staff because it'll be at my location. So if something goes wrong, like I can make it right. I just really believe in providing wonderful customer service, and I just want to make sure that part is taken care of.
Okay, okay. So, and then back to the book. I know a lot of people that want to get into that. Is that something, being that you've learned how to self-publish and things like that? Is that something that you are available to assist other people with doing, getting their books out there and published?
No, I
Okay.
wouldn't be good. I wouldn't be good with that, but I would refer them to my friend that helped me, Alita, um,
Okay.
which she was great. For me personally, no.
Okay.
I can help give you some advice on the bartending, but as far as the book, oh no, 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 no.
No.
That is a headache. I will tell you that it's a
Okay.
headache.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, good to know before I get to running my mouth. Okay. So, based on everything that you kind of overcame and went through and started up and done so far in life, if you could give five pieces of advice to someone right now, just overall, and you can combine business, you can combine your personal development, with your weight loss journey and your everything. What are five pieces of advice that you would give to a young person that's starting off in life, and what would you say to them?
5 pieces. That's good. Um, Number one, save as much money as you can, but still live. Don't get caught up in the hype of, I just have to save every cent. No, take the trips, but save the money. Do the
Mhm.
experiences, but still be very mindful in your spending, but save.
Okay.
Um, just do it. Don't depend on nobody. If it's something that you want to do, get out there and you do it for you. You find ways to make it work for you. Do the research, do whatever it is that you need to do what it is that you want to do. Continue to believe in yourself. Don't let anyone try to belittle you or make you feel like you're not good enough to do nothing or you shouldn't go after something. Shock them. Do
Mhm.
it. Just do it. Also, what else? Always remember who you are because people are always going to have something to say, talk
Mhm.
about you. Don't believe what others say about you. Only you know the real you.
Yes.
And lastly, I would just say always be happy. Don't do anything that doesn't make you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, let it go. Even if it's a job, I'm not saying quit your job right away, but if you're unhappy with your job or with the situation that you're in, you should be doing whatever you can to get out of it so that you can get your happiness back.
I love that one. Why do you feel that one is so important?
I just hear a lot of people always complaining about things. And my
Mhm.
first question is always, what are you doing to change the situation?
Yeah.
And it's always just complaints. And I'm like,
Yeah.
for me, I'm always if I'm in a situation I'm not happy in, I'm always finding a way out. I'm not happy with this job. I'm gonna apply to 100 jobs until something better comes along. I'm not
Mhm.
happy in this relationship. I'm not gonna keep dealing with that. So I just feel like, I think that's what keeps me blessed, highly
Yeah.
favored. It's just always removing myself from a situation and doing what I need to do to get out of that situation. So I just think that's very important.
Yeah. I know you said you listen to a lot of positive things. What other things do you do to keep your spirit up and to keep you motivated?
Um, I really spend majority of my time listening to audiobooks.
Okay.
I also sometimes I write.
Mhm.
Other things, spending time with my family, my most favorite thing, believe it or not, my peace of mind comes from going to bingo.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. I've never been to bingo before. I've
Oh,
never
you
been.
got it. Oh, you got it. It may be boring for you, but if you win, you're gonna be like, oh, this is the best
I'm gonna be
thing.
hooked.
So I just
Yeah, I
love
hear
going
a
to
lot of people
bingo.
talk about going to bingo. I've never done it. I went in a hall before to take something to my cousin because she was like doing the food there, and I was just like looking around, and everybody was all bunched up together. I said, "Oh no," So I don't know if there's one that's not so crowded like that. I would love to go and try it, but I don't
You
know.
gotta go like on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's pretty much kind of like slow nights in Vallejo.
Okay,
You can get a table by yourself.
okay. Well, again, thank you so much for doing this. I truly appreciate you. Is there anything that you want to tell people where they can follow you, or anything you have coming up you want to support or promote, or any words you want to share at all before we go?
I want to thank you for having me. I admire you,
Oh,
and I am just so honored that you had me. And I want to continue to wish you all the success and congrats on this new journey of yours.
thank you.
Um, as far as me, you can follow me on my bartending page at Sassy Pull Up Bar. So it's SASSYPULLUP, and then it'll come up.
Okay, okay.
um, also, be on the lookout. I do plan to release a book this year.
Mhm.
I don't know when, but I'm putting it out here, so that means I got to do it because it's
Yep.
ready.
Hmm,
They're
hmm.
already written. I just literally got to go through the editing process, so there's no excuse. And
Okay.
that's pretty much it. Just everyone, just continue to believe in yourself and just go after your dreams.